Hi guys, my name is Dr. Ali John Jaziri, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create an Even28 profile. These are profiles that we make for dentists as we profile the dentist and create our dentist search engine. So I'm going to go over how this works. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour to create a profile. Now the video is not going to be that long. I'll basically go over step by step on how to create your um, an Even28 profile for a dentist, as well as creating directory listings so they can be found on the search engine. So there's two parts. One is creating the profile, the other one is listing it on the directory. Let's get started. So first things you want to do is you want to go to your WordPress dashboard and you want to go and add new page. Now when you click on add new page, which I've already done this, you're going to get something that opens up like this. Okay, so this is where you create the WordPress, um, basically the page. However, we're not going to use WordPress. We're going to use the Beaver Builder plugin. So I'll show you how that works in a second. But before you do that, you need to put all this information here. Okay, this is all standardized, so you can just follow the instructions that you see here. You have to put this here, the code. This basically centers the text. The first thing you put is the name of the practice. So the practice name is Oceanside Dental and Implants. Okay, this is test, so I know that this needs to be deleted. Afterwards, it's very important that you leave a space. If you don't leave this space, then this is going to show this word and this word attached when you look over here, so it doesn't look pretty. So you want to make sure you put one tiny space after the name of the practice. Then the next thing that you're going to list here is the name of the doctor itself. You don't have to list middle names unless the dentist insists on showing the middle name. So typically Ali Jaziri, DDS is good enough. You put the colon here, you put the gap here. Again, another space just so it looks nice when people are looking at the website name. For dentists, they're either DDS or DMD, so you want to make sure you list that correctly. If they have an extra degree, like if they're a PhD or if they have the master's, MS, or something like that, you can also include that, but that's all you're going to put here. And then the last thing is practice profile page. You're always going to put that because that's all you're going to be doing is creating practice profile pages. The other thing you need to fill out here before you go and launch Beaver Builder is you're going to see the snippet is going to get created once you publish the page, so you don't need to worry about the slug or anything like that. But you need to fill out the meta description so that when these things show up on Google search results, we're in control of what Google is displaying. So you're going to basically copy this exactly like this. Learn more about doctor, whatever the name is, in whatever town they practice. If they work in several towns, just list one town. You won't get to list more than one town, it's fine. And then you just copy the rest of this. View my reviews, treatments, photos, book your appointment online, or shop my Even28 online store. So that's it. Once you've done this, you're done with editing the WordPress page, and we're going to launch our Beaver Builder. So click on that, and here we go. Probably want to make sure you have good internet connection. Otherwise, you're going to add substantially to the time it takes to create a profile. Okay, so when you come here, the first thing is you see that I did this correctly. So this is shown properly. Name of the practice, name of the dentist, title, colon, practice profile page. So you go here to the templates and you go to the save templates and you're going to click on doctor's profile. There's other ones here, but you do not need to worry about this as far as creating dentist profiles. That's the one you're going to be clicking. Now, when you do this, everything that you need to know is pretty much in front of you. So all you got to do from here on is just edit, paste content, and you're good to go. Okay, so the first thing is a picture. And what you need to do is you need to go here and you need to, if they have a picture, okay, so how do you do a picture? So the first thing you do is you want to open up these pages here for each doctor. All right, you got to do some research before you can create this. So you research this doctor based on the practice name and the name of the actual dentist, and then you do a Google search on images. So obviously this doctor has some nice pictures, and you can use this one, or you can crop this one. You need to be able to crop it as a square. So if you want to open this picture, and it's a high quality picture, you can do a square. If you notice, this is already done in a square. We don't expect these to be in a perfect square. We display them as 300 by 300 pixel. A little bit more or less is okay. But just try to just do a little snipping and create a perfect square and try to list it there. So you also want to have the Yelp page open. And then when you go to Yelp, you also want to scroll down to Yelp. And over here, you see not recommended. You want to open that too because we use these reviews as well. You want to have their Facebook page open. We do not use Instagram, just Facebook. And that's pretty much it. So again, practice website, photos, Yelp not recommended, and Facebook. That's where your bread and butter is. Okay. So you go here, you remove the blank picture. This doctor has a photo. You go to select photos. Once you crop the picture, you got to go upload it. And once you upload it, all right, so let's say this was my picture, which it's not, but you make sure you put the title. It's going to show up as title. You take that out and you put it as the alt text, the name of the doctor, because we want Google to be able to crawl the name of the doctor, not just the title. So you put the name over here once you've uploaded the profile, and then from there you go and you post it here. So that should show the correct picture of the doctor. And you know what? We've already uploaded it, so that shouldn't be that difficult. Let's go ahead and actually do one for illustration purposes. So once you've uploaded it, then you just go look, John. Now, this doctor already has a profile, so we're going to see multiple pictures, which are linked to his name. But again, for all practical purposes, once you load a picture, it should only be one photo. So you just load the picture of the doctor, which I can't seem to access here, and you're done with that part. Then next, this information here. Now, this information has to resemble this. So what I like to do is just like to go and copy this, and then just scroll down, go here, and then just paste it here. Oops. Sorry, I usually work on a PC myself, not a Mac, but just like that. Boom. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Oh, okay. Oceanside Dental Implant Test, Ali John Jazari. Now, of course, you have to put the city here. So this is going to be the city of the practice. So San Clemente, California. You're not going to worry about the photos at all, so you can always leave that 0. Once you're done with the reviews, you can put the review number. It's all set up at 35, so if you put the max review, you don't need to edit this, but if you go less, you have to edit it. So just skip that part for now. We'll come back to it. Schedule appointment online and call my office. Okay. These are going to take some time, so let me go ahead and explain each one how it works. For call my office, you click here, and you have to put the telephone number here. So how do you find the telephone number? You pull the telephone number from the practice website. So this is the doctor's website. You go and click on it. You wait till it opens, and then you pull the number from the practice website. Number should be very easy to find. So there we go. There's your number. Okay, so you just can kind of basically go and copy, and you go here. It's all set up here, so you can just put the telephone number and paste. Okay, good. I like to get rid of these so the number shows up nice and clean, and put the 1 up front. So there's your number. Okay, so you can go ahead and enter that, save it, make sure you save it, and there's your number. Okay, for schedule the appointment, once you click on this, what this does, and this is all set up in Beaver Builder, so you don't need to worry about any of these, is it goes down to here to schedule your appointment. However, if you can see, it says Ninja Form shortcode used without specifying a form. So you need to go back here to the Ninja Form. You need to create add new. Now, what I like to do here, you can create a Ninja Form from scratch, but that's a lot of work. So what you do is you go to the dashboard, okay? Just copy this one here, for instance. Any of these work, appointment requests. Let's just copy the first one. So you go here, and you duplicate it. I like to do this in order to be more efficient. As soon as I start launching the page, I start doing this. So as soon as all my pages are up, I already have not just my Beaver Builder, but I already have my Ninja Form ready to go. So those are the 2 essential things to have ready to go. Because as you can see, this can take a few minutes. But at this point, we have no choice. We just have to be patient while it loads up. All right. So we can always go back here and check this out. Let me review a few things while that decides to load itself up. The rest of this information is very easy. You just list the dental treatments. So this is just basic stuff. Just go through it. And if you notice the doctor doesn't do any of things, you delete it. So these are the basic stuff. You don't need to worry about adding more. Just take it off. So a lot of dentists don't do braces. Take that off. This dentist doesn't do pediatric care. Take that off. No sleep apnea. So just remove whatever is not listed on the website based on your hunch, and you're good to go. Okay, so this is the copied version. You go here. Now you can do edit. Okay, the Ninja Form ID is here, 536. So that's the ID number you're going to use here, but that'll also show up here. So you can see it here. This is how you got to set up the Ninja form. You go to the advanced, you go to the display setting. Now there's three things you need to do on the Ninja form. First one is you need to put the correct doctor name. So Ali, John, Jazzieri, in this case test, so I know to delete it. Okay, so you push done. You're good to go. Email actions. Okay, now we need to know who the email is because these emails come to us. They're not linked to the doctor's email address. So what you do is you put the practice name here. Then you put the doctor's name. Now this is a little tedious. So what I like to do is I like to just have all this information ready to go with me from up here by just basically copying this like this. And then I use this information to fill out the form, right? So when I'm doing this, I just go paste, and then you can just put the doctor here. Boom, you're done. See, that's a lot easier. And you can even do that with the displays. You can go to the display area, instead of having to type out the name, you just basically paste it, you delete all that stuff, and you're good to go. Okay, so done. So there's the three things. One is the display setting, so now it shows the correct doctor's name. One is the email action, so when the email goes to our admin department, we know what the doctor's name is. Be cognizant of these spaces that are going to help us with reading it better. And then the phone number here. Okay, so this phone number needs to be the doctor's phone number. Okay, and the way you got to do that is, again, I told you this takes an hour. This isn't easy. You go back to the doctor's number, which we already have here. You copy it. Okay, you go back to our form builder. You delete the test number that's there. All right, you put it here. You put it here. The URL. So the URL has to obviously be telephone:1. Get rid of all this other stuff so it dials it correctly. And then just, this is exactly how I want this to show up. The telephone has to have a 1 and the number, and the text has to be parentheses, no gaps here, the number. Okay, that's how we want these showing up so they're consistent. You insert this and you're done. You go done, publish. Okay. So you're done with the Ninja form, and again, once it publishes, if you remember the number, it's great. If not, the number will show up here. So you can just put that in the numbers area. Okay, let's keep going on. So you just eliminate the services the doctor doesn't offer. So this doctor, as we mentioned, he doesn't do braces or pediatric care. And we didn't see any sleep apnea anywhere. So you have to spend 2-3 minutes on the website to figure this information out. Cool. He does do sedation dentistry. Most dentists don't do that, so you want to eliminate those. At a minimum, most dentists do these things and these upper ones. So the bottom ones are the ones where you need to pay attention. Clear aligner services. You really don't have to worry too much about this. Almost everybody does Invisalign and doesn't offer these aligners, so you can just scroll through this. Office hours. This one is extremely critical. You can pull the office hours from the practice's website. Yep, so this one has it here. So you can just go ahead and follow those. Or if it's not there, there's 3 places you can find it. One is the practice's website. Another one is Google Hours here. So a lot of doctors add their hours here. So there you go. And then the last one is on Yelp. So if you go to Yelp, the office hours are here. So these are all consistent. I mean, this is 5:36. So just use your better judgment and just select an hour, and then you got to correct it, right? So let's say, this all looks correct. Let's say this doctor, this is the hours we have set up, okay? But let's say this doctor is closed on Fridays. So you go close here. Or let's say he doesn't work every Saturday. So you put by appointment only. Okay. So we got the hours taken care of. Schedule your appointment. So this is where you go back to the form. Now the form is 536. So all you have to do in order to create the appointment form for this doctor, it's all set up for you on Beaver Builder. You go to the Ninja ID form, you put 536. Once you save it, now this is going to show up. Okay, once you publish this, you can see this. Okay, there we go. So appointment request. So this is correct. You always want to make sure it's the correct form. And this is ready to go. You don't need to do anything to it. It's all built in for you. Before after photo gallery, you're going to skip that. We are not worried about photos. That is not your job. Okay, the last thing you got to do in order to publish the profile is the reviews. Now, this is what's going to take some time. If you scroll down here, you'll notice there's 35 reviews, 2 columns here, 18 here, 17 here. So 35 reviews. That's the maximum number of reviews. Okay, your goal should be to try to get as close as 35 reviews. But if you don't, then you don't. If it's 5 reviews, it's 5 reviews. If they don't have any reviews, it's extremely rare. Then you delete this whole thing and you basically write down coming soon here. But that's almost never the case. Everybody has some reviews. Now, where are you going to follow these reviews? There's 3 sources: Google, Yelp recommended / not recommended, and Facebook. I'm going to go over each one. We're going to put a couple reviews in there, and we're going to publish this and be done with this profile. Okay, so first thing is Google. Now, the Google reviews are right here. Okay, you have to find the correct one. Sometimes if you search by the doctor's name, there might not be Google reviews. So a lot of times you have to search by the practice name. But here are the Google reviews. So what you do is you go here. You only post 5-star reviews. So this is a 5-star review from Isam Sam. Good, we can post that one. Let's go back to our dentist search engine. Click it. Now, as far as orders, it's really up to you. We like to just scatter them around. So what I like to do is let's put a Google review here, for instance. You don't want to put first Google reviews, then Yelp reviews, then Facebook. It's just not going to be a good read. So just go ahead and scatter them throughout. Okay, so you just paste this one here. As you can tell, I'm a PC guy, but I have to do my recording on Mac. So let's try it one more time. Copy. Paste. Hallelujah. Okay, so then you go click it like this. All right, this is the gray bar around it that makes the review look pretty. Okay, so that's, and it has to be at font size 12. Okay, if it's 14, or a lot of times you type it in, it's not the correct font, just make sure it's 12. The name up here has to be size 14. Now, if you go and just edit paste this, this is actually not going to work because that's actually linked to whoever this gentleman's Google decides this gentleman thing is. So you can either, there's 2 things you can do here. One is you can go and, what I like to do is copy paste it here. Well, again, we're not having Sam, and then you can bring it from here. That removes the link, or you can just type it here, Sam. Okay, but make sure it's not linked to anything because we don't have any outbound links from our reviews. Source, Google. Now, when you do a Google source, this is all you need to do: name, source, and the review. There you go. That's your first review. Congratulations, you got to post it. But we got a ways to go because most doctors have between 10 to 30 reviews. So a lot of them have 35 reviews. You go back to Google. You're going to search the next review. All right. This one's a little suspicious because it has the same last name as doctor, but I'll leave it up to your discretion. If you want to use it, you can use it. We don't use really short reviews. If it's thumbs up or great dentist, that's not enough. You have to have 2-3 sentences. It has to have some content. So, like for instance, the best dentist, the only one for us, always a good experience. You cannot use this review. So don't waste your time with this because that's just a very generic, probably a fake review. So we're not interested in that. So yeah, this is 2 sentences. This one's acceptable. This is great. This is Patrick Trollen. This is a really good review from this gentleman. Cheers. Again, look for 5 stars. If it's 1, 2, 3, or even 4 stars, we do not use them. So let's copy this review. All right. So again, we're said let's scatter them. So just go down here a little bit. Put your next Google review here. All right. Fair enough. Okay. A lot of times you make a mistake. Make sure you don't mess with the codes up here. And then Patrick Trollen. Again, you can spell the name yourself or just edit, paste it as long as it doesn't have a name. And then the source is Google. Once I get my spelling correct. Okay. So there's your Google reviews. Let's move on. Next, I suggest you go do Google. I suggest you do Facebook actually first because there's the fewest of Facebook reviews. Then there's Google. So this is the gentleman's review. Now this one, if you pay attention, it's already on Google. This gentleman has 2 reviews. They name it. Obviously they're related. They have the same last name. So there you go. Yeah. But anyways, we like to start with Facebook reviews because there's just less of them. So we always want to try to incorporate 1 or 2 Facebook reviews, 5 to 10 Google reviews, and the rest are going to be Yelp. All right. So that one goes here. Again, scatter them because you don't want all the Yelp reviews to show up next to each other. It looks weird. Okay. And I keep getting rid of this bracket. So let's put it here. Enter. The font is correct. Put the patient's name here. Source, Facebook. All right. So now we're up to 3 reviews. Slow does it, but these things take time. We want these profiles to be fabulous and useful, so it takes some time to make them that way. Okay, so that's how you do Google and Facebook reviews. Let's go to Yelp reviews. Yelp reviews are going to take you the longest time because a lot of people have a lot of Yelp reviews. That's where people love to put their reviews. Now, Even28 is not just a review website, but reviews are part of the game. Okay, thank you so much. You always got to do that when I'm recording a video, don't you? Okay, so there's a lot of reviews. This just right here gives you an idea. It's always good to kind of know how many reviews you got so you know how much time it's going to take. 17 reviews. And then, like I said, you go down here, you scroll down, and you find the not recommended reviews. So the order I want you to do this is first Facebook reviews, then Google reviews. Last but not least, you're going to do the Yelp reviews, but you're going to do the not recommended first because they're usually the better ones for some reason. So this is the first one. Okay, perfect. They're both 5 stars, so we can do it. If it was 1 star, we'd have to skip it. Copy it. Let's go back to the page. Again, I'll leave it up to your discretion. Just make sure you're scattering them. You're not going in correct order. If you push enter here and you paste it, let's do this for example. Oh, cool. This works on a Mac. Sometimes the font comes incorrectly, but there we go. Now, so that's the review. So we got the review simple. For Yelp reviews, we also put the city. Why? Because A, Yelp does it. B, it helps Google when they're crawling these reviews to do a better geographic destination. So if you put it like that, this doesn't work. You see that? You don't want it like that. So one option is, great, now we got to redo it. One option is you can type it, Ali J from Irvine, California. Another option is you can just take this little here, copy and paste into the browser, and then after that, paste it back here. That'll work. Okay, but for Yelp reviews, I needed to say not just the guy's name who does it from Irvine, California. So the next one is going to say Alan B from Irvine, California, Eric M from San Francisco, and again, just verify that there are 5 reviews. Okay, so you can get 4 reviews from this. Great. And then you go back to the Yelp page. Okay, I like to have every page open in its own browser so I work efficiently. All right, and you do the same thing here. Now, this is a really long review. You can edit and paste it, or you can just put the best parts. Okay. What I appreciate most about Dr. Poem, we created. They also have financing. Dr. Jazeri, my next appointment scheduled 2 months. Can't say I'm excited for it, but I don't mind going at all. Okay. So you can go and do it like this. You don't want to. If the review is really long, you want to make it a little shorter. So what you want to do is you want to go back here. All right, this review's been saved. Open it here, and if you notice, what I did is I didn't include the first part because a lot of times there's a lot of background and whatnot. So you can go back here. You put 3 dots, so that means we're skipping part of the review. And now you put your review here. Paste. Perfect. Now, what I want to do is I don't want to have multiple paragraphs. I want this to just read well because, people tend to just put a lot of stuff in Yelp that just makes the review look really long. We want this to be as pleasant for the viewers to read. So you want to make it into 1 long paragraph. It's okay if it's a long paragraph, but a lot of times people just put 1 sentence like this gentleman does. Beautiful review, but might be a hard read. So you just create it like that. If you pick the initial part, then you put the parentheses ... here. You can do it however you want. Just make it look nice. That's all you got to do. Then you got to type in the name. Parham N from Huntington Beach. So however way you want to do it. And we're good to go. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through the Yelps. You're going to post this review. This one looks good, right? But again, if you notice, I don't know how attentive you are, this review was already listed on Google. So if you see a redundant name, you can skip it. Because that name, we already put that actually on Google. So you can skip that. This one, you can put it. Again, this one's got a lot of sentences. So you can just copy and paste it and just get rid of all this. Make it into 1 nice readable paragraph. Okay, this one's a beautiful one and has a picture. You don't need to worry about pictures, but you want to put this, Claire E. from Philadelphia, PA. Okay, 1-star review. So you're going to skip that one. You should post this one. 1 star, we want to skip this one. We're not trying to make the doctors look bad. Everybody gets a bad review here. It's not a big deal. Another long, wonderful review with a photo. So that's obviously authentic. We like that one. This is a good one. 3 sentences. That's on the short side, but we can post that, Yelp reviews are usually nice, so you can use most of them. Here, this one has 2 reviews, right? So you don't want to put 2 reviews from the same person. I usually use the longer one. Okay? So just go ahead and edit and paste this longer, nicer review, right? Because it's more content from Alice W. from Lake Forest. And anyways, so as you get through this, you'll notice that this doctor is going to end up having, let's say, 23 reviews. Okay. Once you're done with these 23 reviews, okay, let's assume I did my 23 reviews, which I'm not going to do because that's going to take too long. Then you go and delete all the reviews that are just haven't been written up. Okay, so you do that all the way through. Okay, now we're not going to do that, but let's just assume this is it. Let's just assume this doctor has only these reviews. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You delete all the other ones. You go up here and you make this 5 reviews. And you say, congratulations, you just finished your first Even28 profile. It's not easy work, I know, but guess what? This one page has more content than the dentist's entire website with 50 pages in SEO, and it only has good information patients use to choose a dentist. Nobody cares about what a porcelain veneer is. They can do the research somewhere else. Now, doctors usually put a lot of information just so they stuff it with keywords and get the links. We don't do that. We just put the information the patient needs to choose the right dentist for themselves. A word from doctor, don't worry about that. Back to the dentist search, don't worry about that. That's already built in. So this once the patient clicks on this, they'll take him back to our search engine. But you don't need to worry about those. Once you finish your reviews, you're done. Okay, and again, this will take some time. Doing the reviews should take you about 20 to 30 minutes once you get good at it. If it takes you less than that, that means you're skipping reviews. Okay, so we don't want that. We want you to do these the right way. Once you're done, you go to done here and you can publish your page. Okay, perfect. So once you publish it, this will be the link. Now you have to refresh it to get the actual correct link. A lot of times it's still showing as the page ID. It should be corrected once you type it again. This one's not. Okay, so I did something wrong, and again, just mostly because I'm not familiar with Mac, but well, you know what, let's assume this happens, because then you go back to the pages. You have the authority to make changes to your pages. So if you can't, then you'll just have to contact us and do it. But if you can, then you'll go back here and you find a page that was just typed, and you correct the title because it should show up the right way. All right. But again, something went wrong. Great, so much for a training video, huh? Maybe you didn't publish it yet. Maybe I'm just too rushy here. That could be another thing too. Yeah, I think that might have been it. Anywho, while this is going on, let me go ahead and show you how we're going to create the listings. You go to the directory listings and you push create new listing. When you do that, this is the page you're going to end up on. You need to fill this out for each doctor. Okay, this is actually pretty easy. This takes about 5 minutes to do. But we do need to have the doctor's profile in order to do this. So this one didn't come out right for some reason. So the slug and the snippet's not working correctly. So we need to address that. But let's go ahead, just so because I want to move this video forward. Let's go ahead and create a listing for this other doctor. Let's say this is the profile we just did. Okay. All right, so let's assume this is the profile that we just made. Okay, let's go ahead and do a listing for this. So first things first, you copy the name of the practice and the name of the doctor. Now let's bring this up front so it'll be easier. And you paste it here. And you make it like this. Okay, so the name of the dentist, comma, dentistry, and then the name of the dentist, comma, this. Then you upload their picture, okay? So you already have the picture posted from having created a profile. Now this is obviously not a dentist, but that's not the point. So you shouldn't have to redo the photo. Just pick the photo you just uploaded. It should be the first photo that you see and you're good to go. Phone number, you have that information already because you created a profile. But if you don't, you can just go back to the profile that you just opened and just take it from there. Okay, so you type in the number, you know, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Let's just type it in. Okay, so you make sure it's the correct number. Then you put the URL. Okay, so that's why it's important to actually have the doctor's profile ready. You take the URL here, you copy it. Okay, this is how the listing gets linked to the doctor's profile, and you paste it here. Perfect. The link test is always going to be go to dentist profile in capital letters. So you have to put that like that. Once you do that, it'll actually start showing once you type in the geo, but you got to make sure that's correct. Then you put the address. Let's just go back to the other profile. I know we're getting these two profiles mixed up, but it's not a point. This is the address, for instance, right? So you want to just go ahead and copy the address here. I like to copy it twice so I can use it for the zip code. Okay. Now, here's how this has got to read. The country is USA. Perfect. Right now, we're profiling California dentists. So you go to California. Perfect. This is the address, 106 South Ola Vista, San Clemente. You get rid of the state and the city here. This is only the address and the city. So, it can be a little confusing. Then you put the zip code here. Okay, that's how the directory listing should read. Country, state, actual location, comma, city, and then the zip code. You don't need to worry about putting the coordinates. It's always nice to generate a map to make sure, oh, guess what? San Clemente, San Clemente. So it looks like we've mapped this correctly. And then the little snippet here. This is going to be resembling the initial snippet you wrote, so you can just edit, paste that one here. But whatever it is, again, it's the same thing. So just edit, paste your initial one. Or what I like to do is I like to open another listing and just cut and paste it and add my information to it. And you're done. Slug. Type in the doctor's name. And then always type in dentist at the end. Okay. Our listing is ready to be published. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at it. So we filled in the meta description, or we should have. I'll let you all do that. It's the same exact thing as what you put on the first page with the edit profile page. So you can copy paste that from there. Or you can have it saved somewhere and just paste it there. You have the address correctly. You have the phone number, you have the URL link, and you have the actual link text, which is go to dentist profile in all cap letters. We have the doctor's image here, and then we have the title of the listing, which matches our listing. Okay, I'm going to delete these later, but we're good to go. We're going to publish this, okay? So that's how you create your first listing. And now I have a slow internet. Now, you always have to actually create the practice profile page before you do the listing. You can't actually do the listing first. And the reason for that being is, first of all, you want to have the photo and all the information so you can fill this out quickly. Second of all, you need to have the URL. So you actually have to create your doctor's profile page, print it, publish it actually, and then take that URL link and enter it here. Okay, so once you do that, you can do the directory listing and you are officially done with your first assignment. Okay, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. If you have any questions, you can always email me at admin@even28.com, and I'll be glad to give you instructions on how to create these profiles. Don't overthink it. If you can't find a picture, just use the stock photo that's in there. If there's no reviews and you search, just delete it, write down no reviews. If you don't see a list of services, just leave the first 4 or 5 and delete everything else. So the point is being efficient. You want to create a profile in about 40 minutes to an hour. If the doctor doesn't have a lot of content, there's no pictures, it should take you about 30 to 40 minutes, no reviews. If the doctor has a beautiful website with a lot of reviews, it should take you closer to 1 hour, okay? But that's exactly what we want. So this is not about rushing, this is about quality. So the objective is, if you're going to work an 8-hour day, the objective is to create between 8 to 12 profiles during that time. Not more than that, but certainly not much less than that too. Okay, thank you for taking the time to listen to my review, and you have a wonderful day.